Episode 41, September 30th, 2022. Episodes 41A1 through 2, Mary and Solar Energy Credit, and Mary and NordStream Natural Gas Leaks. Episode 41A1 of 2, Mary and Solar Energy Credit. Mary noted that with the new legislation's residential clean energy credit, you can subtract 30% of the cost of installing solar heating, electricity generation, and other solar home products from your federal taxes. This incentive could be the tipping point for consumers to switch to solar power. Mary received an email from her state Focus on Energy program which said we put together the key details on what the solar tax credit is, the eligible expenses for the solar tax credit, and other requirements and restrictions. What is the solar tax credit? If you install solar energy equipment in your residence anytime this year through the end of 2032, you are entitled to a non-refundable credit off your federal income taxes, equal to 30% of eligible expenses. Episode 41A2 of 2, Mary and NordStream Natural Gas Leaks. Mary noted that it was likely that the natural gas leaks of the Nord Stream pipeline from Russia to Scandinavia were caused by Russia under Putin's direction. That would be in line with Putin's other actions threatening energy security of nations supportive of Ukraine in Russia's war of aggression. Mary has been saying that natural gas is the cleanest fossil fuel that can be used as a bridge to the clean energy of wind and solar, to replace biomass, wood, burning for residential heating, for 17 years. Highly polluting wood burning, whether it is in wood-burning fireplaces, uncertified wood stoves, certified wood stoves, or wood pellet stoves, can be replaced by a bridge natural gas furnace for residential home heating. Mary calculated the CO2 emissions of natural gas allowing for a 3% leak rate, using Al Gore's statement that methane leak CO2 is 80% more harmful than the CO2 of coal emissions, is included, still only emits 51.2% of the CO2 that coal emits. Mary also did a calculation from the chart from Families for Clean Air, which compared the weight of PM 2.5 emitted annually. The weights were 1/6 of a pound for natural gas, 27 pounds for a wood pellet stove, 97 pounds for a certified wood stove, and 244 pounds for an uncertified wood stove. Also, the natural gas weights would not increase over time, but wood burning emissions might very well increase over time, as wood stoves aged or were not maintained under laboratory conditions. Given the weights from the Families for Clean Air chart, a wood pellet stove emits 16,200 times more PM 2.5 than a natural gas furnace. A certified wood stove emits 58,200 times more PM 2.5 than a natural gas furnace. An uncertified wood stove emits 97,200 times more PM 2.5 than a natural gas furnace. And a wood-burning fireplace emits 146,200 times more PM 2.5 than a natural gas furnace. Episode 41B1 through 4, Wendy and Guatemalans burn plastic in their wood-burning stoves, Petaluma, California, and Spokane, Washington wildfires, and Oak Ridge, West Fir, Oregon met NAAQS based on a few large-scale monitors, but there is no natural gas infrastructure. Episode 41B1 of 4, Guatemalans burn plastic in their wood-burning stoves. Wendy noted that the University of California, Berkeley published a study estimating dioxin exposure from indoor wood smoke and the burning of plastics in Guatemala. Wood for cooking and heating is a fuel to a large portion of the world's population, often using inefficient unvented stoves indoors, exposing many to very high concentrations of wood smoke. The components of the smoke include hundreds that are toxic and even carcinogenic. The daily intake fraction for a woman who cooks over an open fire yielded an intake that was in the range of international limits for dioxins and furans. The Berkeley study was about the impacts of indoor wood smoke from cooking for the past 8 years in the rural highlands of Guatemala. Study leaders wrote this research has provided a wealth of information about the impacts of wood smoke and the success of an improved stove as an intervention. During the time spent in Guatemala, we have noticed the practice of adding plastic to a fire as means of waste disposal. The addition of plastic may increase the concentrations of dioxins.
We will measure dioxin concentrations in a typical Guatemalan village kitchen from both wood and plastic combustion at varying ratios.
Episode 41B2 of 4 Wendy and Petaluma, California, wildfire. Wendy noted that the Petaluma, California wildfire burned 15 acres north of the city before slowing. The fire burned off the roads and no evacuations were necessary. Episode 41B3 of 4 Wendy and Spokane, Washington wildfire. Wendy noted, in Spokane, Washington, in the past few weeks, wildfire smoke was responsible for a drastic decrease in air quality, forcing Gonzaga University students and fellow Spokane community members to stay indoors and decrease outdoor activities. The air quality became a problem on September 9 when PM 2.5, according to the Air Quality Index, AQI, broke 200. Extremely hazardous is an AQI of over 300. The Clean Air Agency has a network of regulatory-grade air monitors, including 5 monitoring sites that monitor fine particles known as PM 2.5. According to a physician at Health and Counseling Services, the effect of inhaling smoky air is largely dependent on risk level. There are certain people that are at higher risk for effects and symptoms, the physician said. Those people would be anybody who's older and anybody who's younger, children and infants. He also highlighted that people of all ages who have lung diseases such as asthma or COPD, or cardiac diseases that cause problems with circulation face potential health effects. People can have symptoms including shortness of breath, cough, chest tightness, wheezing, any of the symptoms that people would normally have with an asthma exacerbation, he said. Mary noted that the focus of residents against wood smoke emission particulates, ROSEP, is on the health effects to near neighbors of living next to residential wood burning, in those hyper-localized areas where the source of particulate pollution, PM 2.5, is concentrated. PM 2.5, particulate matter of 2.5 micrometer size, is the perfect size to infiltrate the human lung, causing a cascade of human health problems. Wood smoke consists of 90% PM 2.5. Residential PM 2.5 monitors can be purchased by neighbors from Purple Air for less than $300, and their locations are put on the online Purple Air map, along with data uploaded every 10 minutes, available to the general public, and of course, to governmental authorities. Neighbors of residential wood burners would like their Purple Air PM 2.5 monitor data to be used to regulate and shut down residential wood burning detected at neighbors' fence lines that exceeds the World Health Organization, WHO, standards of 5 micrograms per meter cubed or future U.S. standards of 8 micrograms per meter cubed. There could even be court-ordered monitoring using a neighbor-owned Purple Air PM 2.5 monitor as a breathalyzer, similar to car breathalyzers court-ordered for repeat drunk drivers, to turn off the ignition of a neighboring indoor wood stove when levels of PM 2.5 in a near neighbor's yard is exceeded. In this way, governmental authorities would not have to check the make and model of an appliance and would not have to rely on unreliable certification and other worthless assurances of levels of wood stove particulate emissions by the company that manufactured the wood stove. Purple Air monitors also provide data every 10 minutes 24 hours a day, and data can be downloaded from the map by governmental authorities the day after the PM 2.5 levels are exceeded, during normal government working hours. Purple Air PM 2.5 monitors are so reliable and accurate they are put on U.S. Air Now smoke and fire maps alongside $100,000 Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, monitors, correlated to the EPA monitors with a simple mathematical formula. But to publicize this, it is necessary to point out that living hyper-localized next to a residential wood burner is essentially the same as living hyper-localized next to any kind of PM 2.5 emitting wood burning appliance, next to a PM 2.5 emitting wood burning wildfire or next to a PM 2.5 emitting industrial biomass, wood, burning facility.